Hello viewers, welcome to my channel IIT Olympiad and AP Physics with Ambarish, and in today's video I am going to present to you the solution to the third problem of INPHO 2019, that is the hanging chain problem. It's borrowed almost straight from the book of David Morin, Introduction to Classical Mechanics, and let's look at the problem now. So the problem is like this. A chain of length L and linear density lambda hangs from a horizontal support with both ends A and B fixed to the horizontal support as shown. The two fixed ends are close to each other. At time t equal to 0, the end A is released. All vertical distances x are measured with respect to the horizontal support with the downward direction taken as positive. A and B are initially at x equal to 0. So this is the situation. Here you can see this is a chain and A and B are at negligible separation, although we are seeing it drawn at some separation, but we can assume that almost both the segments are vertical, almost vertical. A and B are having negligible separation. So this chain is going to fall and end A is going to come down like shown in the right figure at t greater than 0. So now based on this physical situation, various questions are asked in the upcoming parts. So let's look at the first part. So the first part is obtain the momentum P of the center of mass of the system when the end A has fallen by a distance x in terms of x and speed x dot. Okay. So now look at this. So when the end A has fallen through x, so you know that when this goes down by x, so x by 2 length goes to the left side and x by 2 goes to the right side. You must have done this when you have studied the constraint relations. So that means what? The length on the left side becomes L by 2 plus x by 2, and on the right side it becomes L by 2 minus x by 2. So now let the total mass of the chain be m equal to lambda L, and the left side mass of the chain, I told you, that will be lambda into L plus x by 2, because x by 2 has increased on this side, and accordingly the center of mass of this side will be at L plus x by 4. Similarly, the mass on the right side will be L minus x by 2, lambda into L minus x by 2, and where will be the location? So midpoint of this from A will be L minus x by 4, but we have to add another x to find the depth from the top where the chain was hanging. Okay, so that depth is x plus L minus x by 4. Okay, so we have found the masses of the two sides and also the locations of center of mass of the two sides. Now what we can do, we can simply find the location of center of mass as m1 x1 plus m2 x2 divided by m1 plus m2. So that's what I have done. m1 x1 plus m2 x2 divided by m1 plus m2, where m1 and m2 are the left and right side masses. So this is the location of center of mass, which simplifies. If you simplify this and you take lambda L over there, you get lambda L into xcm is this. Okay, so now this is lambda L into xcm. Why I found it? We want to find the momentum. So momentum will be nothing but lambda L into x dot of cm. You know that momentum is the total mass times velocity of the center of mass. So I just need to differentiate this with respect to time to get the momentum of the chain. Okay, so you just differentiate this and that's what you get. So this is the P is equal to lambda L x dot cm, which is nothing but differentiation of this, which simplifies to the shown expression. So that was part A. So try to keep this in mind. I'll be needing this expression P is equal to lambda times L minus x by 2 times x dot. This expression will be using in the future parts. So just try to keep a little bit this small expression in your mind for the momentum of the chain as a function of x dot and x. So this is the momentum function. Okay, lambda x dot into L minus x by 2. Okay, now let's look at the next part. So in the next part, if we see, assume that the end A is falling freely under the gravity, that is x double dot is equal to g. Obtain the tension capital T at the fixed end B just before the chain completes the fall and becomes entirely vertical. So let's look at it. So what's happening? We are assuming that the right end, it is falling with in free fall, so it's going down with g. Okay, and we have to obtain tension at the end B. This is where I want the tension, and just before the chain completes the fall and becomes entirely vertical. So when the chain is becoming entirely vertical, this x is going to become equal to the total length of the chain, that is L. So now how do we solve this? So x double dot is given as g and x dot is gt, which can also be written as root 2 gx because it's in free fall. So this is standard result that you use when things are dropped and they are falling through a distance x under gravity. And also we know that external force is equal to mass rate of change of momentum, we can say, is equal to external force, right? So capital P is the momentum of the entire system, so P dot is the rate of change of momentum of the entire system, and that should be equal to net external force. So downward force is mg and upward force is T, so mg minus T is equal to P dot. Okay, that is rate of change of momentum. And we had found P in the previous previous part. We had found this result: P is equal to lambda L x dot cm and lambda times L minus x by 2 times x dot, that we had just shown you, and you recall this from the previous slide. Okay, so this is the momentum. Okay, so now what is P dot? Rate of change of momentum. You just differentiate this with respect to time, you get momentum rate of change lambda by 2 x double dot L minus x dot square. Now what do I put for x dot square? So x dot square is nothing but 2gx. Okay, and what is x double dot? X double dot is g. So you just put g over there and 2gx over there, and you can simplify this. And you see, this is also P dot and this is also P dot. So we can equate the RHS of these two equations. And what do we get? By equating the RHS and simplifying this x double dot, you put g and x dot square 2gx. So this is what you get. So mg minus T is equal to lambda by 2 gl minus 3x. This is what you will get. And from this you can find out the value of tension. Okay, so if you simplify this, and m is of course lambda into L. So you can simplify tension from this equation, take that to the other side and put that term here, and this is what you get for tension. But we are supposed to find tension when the chain is completing the fall and becoming entirely vertical. So that means what? Instead of x, I need to put L when the chain is becoming completely vertical, and if you do that, you get tension is equal to twice lambda Lg. Okay, so that was part B. Now let's look at the next part. So what's the next part? Experimentally, the value of tension is found to be different from the above result. We adopt an alternative approach, assuming the conservation of mechanical energy. Alright, in the previous part we had assumed the free fall of the right side, but now we are assuming the conservation of mechanical energy. So what we are supposed to find: obtain the potential energy Ux of the chain and plot it versus x. Take the potential energy of the point mass placed at the horizontal support to be 0. Okay, so now this is pretty simple. So we already know the location of center of mass of the two parts, and from that we can straight away find the potential energy. You know that it is total mass times g times location of center of mass with respect to the reference. Okay, that's the potential energy. So U is minus lambda g xcm, and xcm we have already found in part A. So we just need to substitute that and then plot the given expression. If you substitute that, you get U is equal to minus lambda g by 4 L square plus 2Lx minus x square. Just substituted the value of xcm, and once you have this U, you can easily plot the function. So this is how the plot looks. Okay, so that's our solution to this part. Okay, part C we have solved like this. Okay, fine. Now let's look at the next part. Okay, so the next part is obtain the speed x dot when the end A has fallen by distance x. Assume that all sections of the falling right side part of the chain have the same speed. So now how do we find the speed? So now we are assuming the mechanical energy conservation. So, and we have found potential energy as a function of x. So what we can do, whatever is the loss in potential energy, that should feature as the gain in kinetic energy. So we know initial potential energy, we know potential energy as a function of x, and using that we find kinetic energy as a function of x, and from once you have kinetic energy, you can equate it to half mv square to get x dot. So that's what we have done. So let's look at the equations. So kinetic energy is half mv square, you can say p square by 2m or half mv square. So mass on the right side is half lambda into L minus x by 2. So there's a mass on the right side and velocity is x dot, right? So half mv square is the kinetic energy expression, all right, and this is the mass. Okay, so and this by conservation of mechanical energy, ux plus k of x is equal to u at t equal to 0, because at t equal to 0 there was no kinetic energy. So you just substitute the value of u of x we have found in the previous part, and kinetic energy, this expression you put over here, and then you put the u x equal to 0, you put the value of u at x equal to 0 over here, and then you just need to rearrange the terms and solve for x dot. So if you rearrange these terms, you get the value of x dot as this expression. Okay, so that's our solution to part D. Fine. Now let's look at the E part. So hence obtain tension Tx at B as a function of x and related quantities. You are advised to simplify your expression as far as possible. Now once I have what's the approach here? So once I have the speed as a function of x, I can find out acceleration as a function of x. You know that acceleration is nothing but v dv by dx. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. We have found speed in the previous part, and from that we are going to find acceleration. And once I have acceleration, I can apply Newton's law of motion, or in this you can say for the entire center of mass, external force is equal to mass times acceleration of center of mass, or sigma mi ai. So that's what we are going to do. Let's look at the details of the solution. Okay, so acceleration of the right part of the chain will be calculated as follows. So we had found x dot in the previous slide. So x dot square comes out to be this, and this is v square. So half of its derivative is v dv by dx, right? So you can just differentiate. You can find dv by dx from this, and you know v from this. So v dv by dx, if you do, you straight away get the value of acceleration. This is the other approach, so I'm not getting into this, but straight away that we do in JEE Advanced, JEE concepts, we just know that it's v dv by dx. So v and dv by dx you put, so you get the acceleration as a function of x, like this. This is the acceleration of the right part of the chain, because this is x double dot. Okay, not the acceleration of center of mass. Okay, now F external is equal to sigma mi ai. This we know from our center of mass chapter. Okay, so external force on the system is what? So there's mg acting downward and there's a tension T acting upward. These are the only two external forces that are acting on the system. All right, so I can say that T minus lambda Lg, that should be equal to mass of this part is what? Lambda into L minus x by 2. So m times x double dot. So I'm using this forms. F external is equal to sigma mi ai. So mass of the right side into acceleration of the right side, and of course on the left side the acceleration is 0. So just mass of the right side into acceleration of the right side is net external force T minus lambda Lg. Okay, and x double dot you can substitute from here, and then rearrange this equation, and you'll get the value of tension as a function of x. So if you solve this, this is what you get as tension as a function of x. Okay, so that's our solution to part E. Now let's look at part F. So here we are supposed to qualitatively sketch the tension as a function of x. Now once I have the equation, it's just a matter of plotting the graph. So if you plot the graph, we had this equation in the previous slide. T is equal to this, and this you can easily plot. It's a expression, denominator at x equal to 0, L, you can see that it's going to infinity. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, when the chain is about to complete its fall, the tension will be very, very large. Okay, this means, and this is what the kind of graph that you get, tension as a function of x. Alright, so that's our discussion of the problem 3 of INPHO 2019, and I hope you liked the solution. And if you did like the solution, please do subscribe to my channel if you have not already subscribed, and please share this video as much as possible. Those who are preparing for Olympiads or IIT JEE Advanced, or whomever you think that might benefit from my presentation, please share this with them as much as possible, and please do give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. That's all for this video. See you in the next video. Thank you.